Today I have for you 4 tips to dissuade super aggressive people who just rapidly want to chase you down. They want to move forward. We have to create consequences for them, but how do we go about doing that while staying safe and not falling victim to their super offensive approach? That's what we're going to touch on right now. Before we get into the episode talking about 4 ways to dissuade super aggressive opponents, I want to let you know that our channel partner, XMartial, is having a 15% off sale for the holiday season. You can use the promo code XMIS to save. This martial arts company has so many great apparel products for your training needs. Things like this awesome rash guard. This is a custom one. Yeah, I can't actually get this, but they have so many others. Make sure you guys head over to XMartial, link in the description below, and use that promo code XMIS to save 15%. So while very often in my fights, I am the aggressor. I'm the person who wants to apply pressure, mostly because I'm trying to tire out my opponents with my pretty spectacular cardio. But aside from that, I have been on the receiving end of super aggressive opponents. People like Mosab Amrani, who I had to use some defensive skills and some other tactics to defeat him when I won this belt, because he was so well known for just trucking forward, going forward. And I went, well, yeah, I could just stand there and bang with him, or I could just try and run and bounce around. But there's this sweet middle area where you can actually make the person really pay for having that overly aggressive style. And it works whether you're in the ring competing or whether you're at the gym sparring for fun. So let's start off and move into our first point. And this is actually one that I'm gonna have an awesome clip of Tawan Chai, who is gonna be a Muay Thai legend very soon. He's just on his way up. But anyway, when he has somebody who's just chasing him down, he does a perfect example of showing what you have to do, and that's being able to strike while moving backwards. Yes, you want to move backwards. You don't want to meet this person head on. Just stand here all the time and just be as they throw at you. You want to move back, but you can punish the person and dissuade them from continuing their attack, because as they're chasing you down, you're hitting. Backing up and striking is something that many people are not proficient at. They're not good at it because very often we stand still, or we're good at moving forward. It's always easier to run forward, for example, than running backwards. And just in general, moving backwards like this is a little less comfortable than going forwards, and moving backwards while punching or kicking is that much harder. But Tawan Chai shows us how it can be done. I've used this in my fights many times. You back up, you throw. What we want to make sure that we're doing is we're moving the feet. We're not galloping backwards. We're keeping our head level so that we can actually still throw with power. Lots of little steps and big power shots so that as they move forward, they're getting tagged. They're going, oh, it's not worth it. Maybe I need to change my style up. And then they stop, they take that pause to reassess. And then yeah, from there, you can go back on the offense. If they decide, okay, I'm just gonna get overly aggressive again, tag them, make them stop, make them pay. The next thing which you can do, and this works super well when I fought Mosab, is let them walk into your punches. Make them pay by going, okay, if my punch is, let's say, 8 out of 10 in terms of power, when I just throw against a stationary target, now as they move in, they turn it into a 10 out of 10. You're gonna increase that power because it's 2 forces meeting. The trick on this one is getting the timing down, because if you're a split second too early, they're gonna be out of range, but if you're too late, it's gonna be jammed and they're gonna be on you. So you have to have that impeccable timing, whether it's long range, they're walking towards you, make them pay by hitting them in the stomach. They get a little bit closer, boom, you make them pay with a cross. They get even tighter than that, boom, make them pay with a knee. You can have 2 or 3 set techniques that you like to let people walk into that are powerful, that really resonate with you. And if you can do that, and somebody continually walks into your attacks, they're gonna stop doing it. They're gonna stop being as aggressive because they go, oh, every time I just charge forward, I get hit in the stomach or take a shot off the head or the guard. It's just the timing. that is most difficult to get. But you can train this very easy by just pushing a bag. You know, you get a heavy bag, you just push it and then stop it at the ideal moment. Push it, stop it at the ideal moment. That's all we have to work. The next thing which really helps, and I'm actually gonna put a clip up of me utilizing this, is not backing straight up. Because as we already mentioned, it's much easier to move forwards than backwards. And if you decide to go in a straight line backwards and you have a really aggressive opponent, even if I rush back as fast as I can, it's not gonna be nearly as fast as somebody who decides to charge. Forwards is faster. So as we are backing up, we wanna catch little angles. We can back up to about here and then go, okay. And what that does is it makes this person who's being overly aggressive have to angle off. And it's so much harder to maintain speed, maintain pressure when you're having to switch directions. That's why we see super fast things like cheetahs struggle to catch their prey because their prey will move around. And the cheetah's fast in a straight line, but not at taking direction changes. Same thing here. Take direction changes so your opponent who's super aggressive has to stop, reset, and then restart the momentum. It just doesn't work well for them. The last thing which I really like to do with super aggressive opponents is off balance them. Because if every time they come forward and you're off balancing them or tossing them to the ground, they start to lose faith in this plan. How do we off balance them? Well, one of the easy ways is to take out this standing leg. Either extend the stance or get this foot to come across their body so they end up in beyond bladed stance. You do that by either putting a little low inside low or a really low ankle kick. Those two work really nice. And if you can time it, as the person starts their attack, just as they start, you pull the leg out. A lot of times they'll end up down on one knee. So you'll be standing here, you're waiting, they start their attack, you take one step back, and then you flick their leg out. Or you take a step back and you flick that leg out. Either of those work very nice. Alternatively, as they come to attack you, you can close the gap even faster. They rush in, you go hook. You make sure you don't clash heads. You do something like post a hand out. So you meet them, you go hook, and you grab them. And as soon as they get aggressive, you just meet them, you go to the clinch, and then you toss them down to the ground. Something like that is going to stop them from wanting to be overly aggressive, because if they go, oh, every time I try to charge, he just meets me and tosses me to the floor, then they're going to start being a little bit more cautious with their offense and try to be a little bit more clever. But that's what we want. We're trying to take away their want or their ability to think offense, crazy aggressive offense is helping me. I'm being successful with it. We don't want them thinking that. If we take these 4 tips, which I just utilized, we put them into practice as we spar or we compete, we can take an aggressive opponent and mellow them out just a little bit. And that's all we want to do. We're not trying to take an aggressive opponent and turn them into a defensive fighter. It's probably not going to happen. But if they ease off 10, 20% on their level of aggressiveness, it's going to serve us a lot better. So those are my tips for you, which I have utilized successfully in fights against world-class fighters, world champions, and it has helped me defeat them. Try these out, put them into practice, you will see results. Remember to check out XMartial in the description link below and use that promo code XMESS to save 15%. As always, guys, train hard. I will see you back here soon for another video.